It's a pleasure to me present the key findings from my uncertainty analysis project focused on security perception in Mexico by 2020. The purpose of this analysis is to detail the results of a comprehensive data review on the public perception of security, aiming for a more accurate understanding of the population views regarding safety, trust in institutions, and the prevalence of corruption. Our objective was to carry out this data analysis through the organization, presentation, interpretation, and reporting of 1,500 survey results collected by INEGI in 2022. Let's begin by looking at the profile of our respondents. First, by entity. The entity with the highest level of participation was Mexico City with 110 respondents, while Jalisco registered the lowest. This contrast reflects a greater engagement from the respondents in the capital. Next, by socioeconomic or sociodemographic stratum. The stratum with the highest participation corresponds to the lower middle group with 774 respondents, while the high income group shows the lowest. This indicates that individuals from lower levels tend to be more represented in perception of public security. In the analysis by gender, a slightly higher rate of participation was observed among women, like shows in the pie chart, but with 53.3% level of participation. The average age of the respondents is 44.76 years, with the age group with the highest participation clustering around 33 years old. Now, let's move to the most relevant findings, starting with the general public concern about insecurity and corruption. We found a general sense of concern. Approximately 58.2% of respondents expressed concern about insecurity, but significantly 77.2% reported being worried about corruption. This highlights corruption as a particular pressing issue. About 21.2% of the surveyed population agrees that the lack of punishment for criminals is a concerning issue, while the remaining 78.8% did not express an opinion on the matter. The feeling of vulnerability is widespread, especially in public areas, as we'll see below. Regarding public transport, out of 1,500 respondents, 724 consider this mode to be unsafe, with only 417 response perceived it as safe. Similarly, on highways, 55.1% of respondents believed roads are unsafe, with only 38.7% consider them safe. When asked about personal victimization, a total of 604 respondents reported having felt victims by either extortion or kidnapping. Our last core section focused on public trust in security institutions like state police. Well, in the state police, trust is moderate, with a clear tendency towards some confidence, with 449 responses, but also followed closely by distrust. Moreover, response perceived corruption authority as hugely relevant, with 42.3% expressing this point of view. The trust and perception of corruption in the National Guard. Here we observe a notable contrast, like the anterior. The National Guard shows higher trust, with the majority of respondents expressing confidence. Um, Similarly, most do not perceive corruption within it, with 45.4% indicates absolutely no. The Army also reports slightly more trust than distrust, and 53.5% indicate they do not perceive corruption within it. Before, let's be briefly revisit the varied analysis of age and corruption concern. The analysis highlights the respondents who view corruption as a major concern tend to cluster around middle-aged adults around 52 years old, whereas those who do not perceive it a concern show a peak among young-haired adults around 33 years old. This suggests that the perception of corruption as a pressing issue increases as respondents grow older. To conclude, the analysis of the 2022 security perception data in Mexico reveals a general sense of concern among the population regarding both insecurity and corruption. Although respondents from diverse age groups and socioeconomic levels participate, the things suggest that the perception vary with age and social context. Middle-aged adults tend to express greater concern about corruption, while younger respondents appear less alarmed by it. The lower middle socioeconomic stratum shows the highest participation, indicating stronger involvement of individuals who may experience insecurity more directly. Moreover, public trust in state authorities remains moderate and perception of corruption within them are significant. In contrast, the National Guard enjoys relative higher levels of trust and lower perceived corruption. Overall, these results highlight persistent public distrust towards security institutions and widespread feeling of vulnerability, reflecting that in 2022, insecurity and corruption continue to be a key social challenge in Mexico. That's all for me. Thank you very much for your attention.